Now, wait till you see this. From screeners who catch things to some that don't. Tonight, Fox 5 exposes a glaring hole in airport security.
This disturbing discovery comes at the same time the head of Homeland Security, Michael Chertoff, says he has a gut feeling Al-Qaeda might strike in the U.S. this summer. Well, here's Fox 5's John Deutzman.
Take a close look at this guy. He's about to do something that you wouldn't think he could get away with at the airport, because you won't believe what he's using as identification to get on a flight. Getting by safeguards designed to make sure you are who you really say you are, and supposedly checking that you are not on a terrorist watch list. It's a good thing that this guy, Jose Salvador, is a Fox 5 producer and not a terrorist.
Well, I made it on the plane, no problem. So Boston, here we come.
Now, before we show you what Jose used for ID, we need to tell you that it's the airlines, not the TSA, but the airlines who are responsible for checking your ID before you get into the security area. And the airlines are supposed to follow government requirements for ID. And you've seen the lists all over the place. In fact, here are the rules for Delta Airlines for people traveling within the United States, U.S. Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico. 1 unexpired form of local or federal government-issued photo ID, such as passport, driver's license, military ID, or 2 unexpired forms of non-photo ID. 1 must be issued by a state or federal agency. But here comes our Jose, entering Kennedy Airport to get on a Delta flight to Boston. He has no problem checking in at the counter using ID that doesn't even meet any, nope, not one of the guidelines. Jose has one of these things called an international driving permit. It's not even close to being an official government document. Look at this. His name and information is written in by hand. So if Jose's name was Osama bin Laden, all you need to do to change it is a pen. It's supposedly valid 1 year from June 7th, 2000, so it expired 6 years ago, and that date is written in pen. The photo can be easily switched because it's not laminated. Now, it's not that it's fake. Jose's international driving permit was issued by AAA, the Automobile Club of America. It's not fake, but it certainly is not designed to mean too much. It's not designed to be official. All this is a courtesy from AAA to people who want to drive in foreign countries. It's kind of a translating book so that authorities in other countries can understand the information on your real driver's license. In no way does AAA claim or pretend that this thing is an official document. And right here it says your valid U.S. driver's license must accompany the International Driver's Permit, IDP, at all times. But all of those things, that it's not government issued, that it's expired, that the crucial information is written by hand, didn't raise any red flags here at Kennedy, as Jose checks in at the Delta Com Air counter for his flight to Boston. All he used was his international driver's permit. Then here, before he gets to the security machines, this woman checks his ID. She gives it a good look over. It takes a while. Then right here, Jose hands over another piece of ID. What is it? Get this. It's an expired gym membership card from Florida. And it does the trick. He's on his way. No special security, pat down, nothing.
I made it on the plane, no problem, easy. Here we go to Boston.
Earlier this year, Jose had to make an emergency flight due to a death in the family. He had lost his license and passport. In desperation, he tried this.
Just by looking at this, it was clear to me that I was going to have problems. And when I got through, I was completely surprised and shocked.
Since it seemed to work, Jose used it on several flights. For example, in April, he flew from Newark to Seattle on Alaska Air and returned to JFK on a Delta flight. In May, he flew from Newark to West Palm Beach on Continental and back to JFK on Delta. And just last week, as we showed you, Jose used his shaky ID to pass through supposedly strict checks at JFK.
Well, as you can see, I made it on the plane.
And get to Boston.
Because some people get, pulled aside and patted down, and I went through none of that.
Authorities tell us in cases like Jose, when a person has questionable ID or they lost their ID altogether, they should have received special security status by the airline so that the TSA could really check them out. Now, the airline also has the option to say you're not getting on the plane until you have proper ID. Something was very sloppy here. I'm John Deutzman, Fox 5 News.
John tells us Delta Airlines is now conducting their own investigation into what might have happened here. Delta and the other airlines mentioned in this story, Alaska Airlines and Continental, tell Fox 5 that the security and safety of their passengers, employees, and communities they serve is their top priority and that they adhere to all security regulations.